To fulfill a family alliance, I married Noah Simons, the CEO of the Simons family. And along with him, I got myself a 5-year-old stepson, for free. He was being punished, left alone to kneel in the rain. I couldn't bear the sight. But just as I coaxed the little guy into coming inside, he sank his teeth into my hand. She's probably just like all those other nasty women, here to steal my dad away. I didn't get angry. Instead, I stole his dad's most prized motorcycle and smuggled the kid out of the villa. Later, I tried out every single motorcycle in his garage. On the day our engagement was set to expire, Noah Simons cornered me in the garage, his eyes red as he asked, "Chloe Forrest, which do you choose, me or the bikes?" Behind him, a tiny head poked out. "Mama, don't forget me." I hadn't been back from the countryside for long. And I was already standing in for my family in a marriage alliance with the Simons Group's president, Noah Simons. The first night after moving in, I couldn't sleep, the bed was too soft. So I wandered downstairs. That's when I stumbled upon Tim Simons being punished. So small. Kneeling all alone in the courtyard. He was wearing a pale green short-sleeved shirt and a dark brown tie. Adorable. But I'd heard rumors, Noah's son was violent and withdrawn, completely incorrigible. Everyone in the circle knew it. The Simons family had basically given up on him. But it was late autumn, and the rain was still falling. I couldn't stand it. I brought out a blanket. Butler Jones came out too, his tone icy. "Miss Forrest, the young master has a violent and unpredictable temperament. It's best if you keep your distance, so he doesn't harm you." The light in Tim Simons' eyes instantly dimmed in the shadows. At his side, his chubby little hand clenched and unclenched. His lips were pale. He looked like he might faint at any moment. Honestly, he didn't look like he could hurt anyone. I went upstairs to find Noah. He had just stepped out of the shower. A towel slung low around his waist. Above that, tight abs, smooth V-lines disappearing into the towel. Topped with a pair of gold-rimmed glasses perched on his nose. Abstinence personified. I had never seen a man this handsome in my rural hometown. But good looks couldn't cover up the fact that he was a terribly irresponsible father. My tone softened slightly. "Uncle Simons, Tim's only 5. No matter what he did, that's no reason to leave him kneeling for hours in the cold rain." Noah frowned. He looked like he was displeased with me meddling in his family affairs. "Do you even know him? Do you know what he's done? Miss Forrest, if you don't understand the situation, I suggest you stay out of it." "But his body can't possibly handle." "Butler," Noah said coolly. "Bring him in." The butler returned quickly with Tim in tow. "For tonight, we'll let it go, since Miss Forrest asked. Let him sleep." Tim gave me a surprised glance and mumbled a soft "oh" before turning back to his room. I let out a breath of relief. So Noah wasn't as heartless as the rumors claimed. He could, at the very least, listen to reason. "Uncle Simons, I wasn't wrong." Before I could finish, a black blur dashed past me. Tim had turned around. Like a little calf, he charged straight at Noah. Noah had seen it coming and lifted him high. But he hadn't anticipated Tim's hands. The towel around Noah's waist flew into the air. And the chilly wind left everything quite visible. Shocking. Tense. Magnificent. Very. Clang. A cup shattered on the floor. Aunt Mia had come to deliver coffee, and gasped in horror. The butler's eyes went wide. 2 people frozen in shock. 2 people completely stunned. "We didn't see anything." "Really? Nothing at all? What's the big deal?" I wiped my eyes and took another look or two. From above came Noah's voice, low and ominous. "Have you stared enough?" I had never seen such a vivid rainbow of emotions on one man's face. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I cleared my throat. "Don't be shy. I've seen pigs being castrated in my village, it's not that different." "Shut up." Slam. The door slammed shut. Noah's voice came through, laced with warning. "Tim, you're getting out of control. Bite again, and I'll pull your teeth out." I suddenly remembered how smug my stepsister and her mom had looked before I married into the family. Noah has no interest in women, and his son Tim is a violent little monster. So many women tried to marry him and all got scared away. "I bet Chloe Forrest won't last 3 months, she'll be dead from the torment." "Your president doesn't hit people, does he?" I had asked. Aunt Mia gave me a disapproving look. "If a parent hits their own child, does it even count?" From inside the room came the unmistakable howls of Tim being punished. So what did Tim do to deserve kneeling in the rain? Young master pushed Miss Rachel down the stairs. "She's still in the hospital, unconscious." Rachel. I'd heard of her. The woman Noah loved but could never have. If it weren't for the young master interfering again and again, Miss Rachel would have been the one to marry into the family. That's a separate matter. I kicked the bedroom door open. Both father and son turned toward me. Tim's pale, chubby cheeks were streaked with tears. He looked absolutely pitiful. Uncle Simons, so what if someone saw your body? It's not a big deal. You're pretty average-sized, if I'm being honest. Is that really worth throwing a tantrum and taking it out on a kid? Noah's face darkened. When I was about Tim's age, someone once handed me an umbrella, and it lit up my entire childhood. Now, I wanted to give him one too. I crouched down beside him. Want some tomato and egg noodles? Auntie's pretty good in the kitchen. Then I patted him, like I would a puppy. Tim's hair was thick and soft, fluffy and nice to the touch. Before I could get enough of it, he wrenched himself out of Noah's arms, lowered his head, and bit me. Go away, ugly freak. Then he bolted downstairs. I stared at the bite mark he left. He had quite the bite. It was bleeding. Beside me, Noah's tone was pure sarcasm. Miss Forrest, are you still planning to make him tomato and egg noodles? I am. I wrapped up my bitten hand and went to the kitchen. Aunt Mia came downstairs, peeked in, and said coolly, Miss Forrest, if you think pleasing the young master will help you win Mr. Simons's love, then you're sadly mistaken. Mr. Simons loves Miss Rachel. He won't eat your noodles. And the young master is picky, he won't eat either. Was that supposed to provoke me? I gave her a sweet smile. Is that so? But until your beloved Miss Rachel marries into this house, I'm the lady of the manor. Whether or not noodles get made, that's up to me, not you. Aunt Mia was stunned. Apparently, she didn't expect me to have this much nerve. Get out. Gladly. She had barely left when Tim appeared in the living room, holding a toy car. Pretending to play, but he was clearly observing me. Suddenly, I heard his inner voice. She actually told Aunt Mia, that tattletale, to get lost. So satisfying, but she's really uncool. There's a little path on her head. Huh? The high-tech refrigerator with a digital display reflected my very obvious hair parting. Well, I was rich now and had nothing better to do. No more farming chores. Starting tomorrow, I would begin my self-care journey. Become a refined woman and live a luxurious life. I just bit her, and she's still making me noodles? Maybe she's like those other women, she'll throw the bowl down and say it was my fault, so I'll get beaten again. But I'm so hungry. Gurgle, my instincts had been right. This kid wasn't violent or withdrawn. He was just pitiful. Forget it. I won't eat. She's probably like those nasty women too. She'll talk bad about me to Dad and make him hate me even more. He really was just a poor baby. I changed strategies, went straight for the heart. I served the noodles in a children's bowl shaped like a cartoon cat. Then gently took his hand. Softly, I said, Sweetheart, from today on, as long as I'm here, no one can wrong you again. Tim froze completely. A second later, he let out a suspicious hum. Rachel said the same thing. And right after, she always blamed me. The prettier a woman is, the better she lies. I don't trust her. And with that, he huffed off like a grumbling dumpling. I made one extra bowl, for Noah. Brought them both upstairs. The tomato broth was rich and savory. The eggs had soaked up the soup and were soft and silky. The noodles were neatly arranged, topped with a sprinkle of fresh green scallions. The study lights were on. I knocked and opened the door. I made some noodles. Noah looked at me with a sharp, unreadable gaze. His tone was cold, edged with warning. Miss Forrest, there's no outsider here. I trust you know why we got married. Don't get any ideas about things that don't belong to you. Once the 3-year term ends, we'll go our separate ways. No need to waste your energy pretending to be the perfect wife. He hadn't planned to marry me. If it weren't for my father's scheme, tricking him into sleeping in my bed, it made perfect sense for him to hate me. Still, I rolled my eyes. It's for Tim. I just brought you a bowl as a courtesy. I tried to hold it in. I really did. Just because I had a good temper didn't mean I had no backbone. Uncle Simons, just because you're the CEO and all alpha doesn't mean every woman who lays eyes on you wants to throw herself at you. Try not to be so full of yourself. Tim is still young. If he ruins his stomach now, it'll be hard to fix later. He's your son. I made him some noodles out of kindness. Instead of being grateful, you're giving me that sarcastic tone. Are you even sure he's yours? That last line clearly hit a nerve. Noah's already dark expression grew even stormier. I could tell he wasn't used to being talked back to, especially by a woman. Still, his manners held him back. Without another word, he turned and called for Aunt Mia to bring Tim in. Tim entered, glancing nervously between the two of us. His voice was soft. Dad. Noah jerked his chin toward the noodles on the desk. Eat. A cold command. Nothing like a parent. Oh. Tim cautiously picked up the chopsticks and slurped the noodles with his head down. Dad actually cared whether I ate noodles today. Maybe he doesn't hate me that much after all? Little Bun was just a poor, love-deprived kid. Eat slowly. Don't choke. Tim stared at me in shock. She didn't put anything weird in this? She really cooked it, for me? No poison? But Tim was still a child. He forgot things quickly. His little feet dangled with excitement. Yummy, yummy. Who said he had a bad temper? He was clearly easy to please. Tim finished his bowl quickly. He licked his lips, eyes fixed on Noah's untouched bowl. He hadn't eaten enough, but didn't dare ask for more. I had given him a decent portion. Though, honestly, I didn't know whether kids should eat that much at night. Then Noah finally spoke. It's late. No more eating. Go wash up and sleep. Oh, Tim replied, and shuffled off. After he left, I cleared the table, including Noah's bowl. Uncle Simons, I overstepped today. I won't cook for Tim again without asking. I was about to leave when he stopped me. His gaze was deep and unreadable. If you stay in your place, from now on you don't need my permission to do anything in this house. Oh? The retreat to advance move? He's giving up control? A man's heart, truly, is a deep ocean. I smiled sweetly and placed the bowl back in front of him. Don't worry, President Simons. I know you've already picked someone else for the title of Mrs. Simons. I just want money. Noah tossed me a black card. Stick to your word. Noah was always busy. So busy that even though we lived under the same roof, we barely saw each other. One day, I stumbled across an entire row of motorcycles in his garage. I immediately asked Aunt Mia about them. She told me to grab the key myself. In rich families, the motorcycle keys had their own room. I picked the flashiest one. But before I could head out, Tim was dragged back by Butler Jones. He was on the phone with Noah. Yes, the young master hit someone again. He's already been brought back. The damages were paid. All right. Goodbye, sir. He hung up, turned to Tim with a grim expression, like one of those bald, terrifying middle school principals. Young master, do you remember the Simons family rules? Kneel. Aunt Mia, fetch the discipline ruler. Tim's eyes turned red instantly. Butler Jones, I didn't hit anyone. Can't you just tell Dad again? Butler Jones, maybe we should wait for. Aunt Mia, Mr. Simons put the young master in my charge. I must see to his correction. He turned to Tim. The surveillance was clear. You hit someone. When Aunt Mia returned with the ruler, Tim erupted like a furious little lion cub. In the end, he shoved Aunt Mia away and crawled under the table. His eyes were bloodshot, tears welling in them. He hit me first. Why won't anyone believe me? He knocked over the crystal fruit bowl on the coffee table. Smashed the antique vase. His little voice was fierce. I did hit him. I wanted to beat him up. I'll beat all of you too. Get out. I'll kill you all. Aunt Mia, call someone. A group of suited bodyguards rushed in and surrounded Tim. Lock the young master up. He'll be punished when Mr. Simons returns. Tim's eyes filled with fear. He struggled wildly. I don't want to go. Let me go. Stay away from me. He screamed. He bit. But a few guards easily restrained him. No matter how hard he fought, he couldn't break free. They threw him into a room. A pitch-black one. Empty inside. The door closed. His screams grew hysterical. I hate you all. I'll kill every last one of you. So it really wasn't Tim's fault. But for some reason, no one believed him. And in his rage, he couldn't explain himself. Just shouted threats out of spite, which only made people misunderstand him more. Worse, this kind of violent suppression by the Simons family only made things worse for a kid like him. I'll take the child. Butler Jones frowned. Miss Forrest, this is a Simons family matter. You'd best not interfere. Screw your Simons family matter. I finally exploded. If your eyes don't work, go take a look at the marriage certificate between me and your president. I'm taking Tim. Right now. Butler Jones didn't move an inch. Without Mr. Simons's orders, no one is allowed to approach the young master. And with that, he left, guards in tow. Aunt Mia hesitated for a moment. Miss Forrest, with Mr. Simons away, Butler Jones has been entrusted with disciplining the young master. Without his permission, you really can't take the child. Besides, the young master is capable of hurting people. He's only trying to protect you. With that warning, she too walked away. I felt terrible. Like a lump of lead was lodged in my throat. I've never had children of my own, but even I knew, disciplining a child like this was going to lead to disaster one day. The room grew quieter. The door was locked. The windows, I avoided the villa staff and climbed up to the second floor with my bare hands, inching along the ledge. Then I shattered the glass. And jumped in. The moment I landed, I saw him curled up in the corner. Shivering. Quietly crying. Tim. He froze. His voice, soft as a kitten, trembled. Mama, is that you? Mama, it's so dark in here. I'm scared. He threw himself into my arms. But when he looked up and realized it was me, not his mother. Tim stiffened. Instinctively, he tried to push me away. You're. Shuh. I held him tighter. I'm getting you out of here. Don't shout. If you shout, we won't make it. The little guy looked at me warily. You sneaky evil woman. What do you want from me? Hold on tight. This is the second floor. You'll fall. And I'm not evil woman, I'm Chloe. You're not afraid of Butler Jones? If he finds out, he'll lock you up with the guards too. Despite grumbling, he clung to my neck like an octopus. I hadn't climbed in years. My muscles were rusty. But I made it down, somehow. I took him to the underground garage and found him a little helmet. Where are we going? He asked. I'm stealing you away, I replied, buckling the strap. Then selling you off. The motorcycle roared to life. Aunt Mia came running out when she heard the sound. She took one look, and nearly fainted. Little Master ran away. Wait. You can't ride that one. That's Mr. Simons's. I brought Tim to a KFC. Ordered tons of food. He didn't touch a bite. Just stared at me suspiciously. What are you really up to? I told you. I'm selling you off. You're the Simons family heir. I bet you'd go for a pretty penny. I'm not worth anything. Tim looked down. His long lashes fanned out like a folding screen, hiding his expression. Dad doesn't like me. Even if you sell me, no one will want me. I reached across the table, pressing his tiny hand. I like you. Tim stared at me in shock. Then, in the next second, his soft little face turned bright red. He squirmed in his seat, shy and fidgeting. His chubby fingers twisted around each other until they were red and raw. I gently covered his hand and repeated, You're adorable. I really like you. But first, let's eat, okay? You're the one who asked me to eat. So I'll give you some face and eat a little. The little guy was starving. He scarfed it down. When he finished and finally let his guard down, I took the opportunity to ask, Since you ate my food, you've got to tell me what really happened at kindergarten. Why did you hit someone? I felt like it. Try again. Use your words. I didn't like what he did, so I hit him. What's the point in telling the truth? No one ever believes me. They'll just say I'm making excuses again. Poor baby. I ruffled his hair. Let me guess. He hit you first. Tim looked up sharply. Then dropped his head again, but his nervous fingers gave him away. How does she know it was Ted who hit me first? It was Ted, wasn't it? He started it. Tim's eyes went wide. He looked adorably dumbfounded. Wait, how does she also know that Ted bullied Emily first, and that's why I hit him? Ted was bullying Emily, so you stood up for her. That's why you hit him. The little guy was so excited he nearly fell off his chair. His lashes fluttered with joy. She knows. She knows everything. Ted's a bad kid, right? He always bullies Emily, and others too, doesn't he? Ah, she's a fairy. She has stars in her eyes. I smiled and took his hand. He didn't pull away. I lifted him onto my lap. I guessed right, didn't I? You're not dumb. Inside, he was bursting with emotion, but he kept a straight face. That part of him kind of reminded me of Noah. Should we call your dad and tell him the truth? Tim's expression instantly turned anxious. After a long pause, he asked cautiously, but what if? There's no what if. But you have to say exactly what I teach you. I promise, your dad will listen. Okay. I'll give you one chance. Deal. Just as I was about to dial, Noah's call came in first. He was ready to settle the score. I answered. Noah's voice was cold and distant. You took Tim? I think you should hear what really happened at the kindergarten. I'll let Tim tell you himself. Dad. You know what you did wrong? I pinched his ear lightly. The little guy perked up. Dad, Ted hit me first. I didn't hit him on purpose. Noah had probably heard that same excuse 1,000 times. He was already out of patience. The teachers and the surveillance footage all say you did. Are you really going to lie to me, Tim? Tim wavered. His eyes filled with tears. He looked at me. I nodded. He took a deep breath, then explained the entire incident exactly as it happened. There was a pause on the other end of the line. You're sure you're telling the truth? I am, Dad. I'll look into it. I hung up. Then gently wiped Tim's tears. Feeling a bit better? He nodded vigorously. Then grew a little shy. But, will Dad really look into it? Let's believe in him, just this once. But as I said that, my hands were already busy. I added Noah on messaging, labeled urgent. He accepted quickly. Mr. President Simons, who handles 1,000 matters a day, could I trouble you to properly investigate this? You and that teacher of his, do you even realize how many times you've wrongly accused him? Noah replied almost immediately, Where are you? Don't worry. I may be a stepmom, but I won't frame him. I won't let him cry. And I won't sell him either. We'll be home tonight. I did actually have something to do today. A race I had agreed to long ago. So, I brought Tim with me to the racetrack on the outskirts of the city. His eyes sparkled with curiosity the moment we arrived. Suddenly, he became extra chatty. You're going to race? Can you beat them? Does my dad know you took his bike? Do you even have a license? Aren't you scared he'll spank you? I stuffed a cup of hot milk into his hands, along with my phone. Know how to take pictures? Auntie needs to post to her moments. Make me look good. I know how. Thanks, sweetie. I leaned down and kissed his cheek with a big mwah. In the sunlight, Tim's little face turned bright red. He shyly looked away, then tried to act serious. Who said you could kiss me? But, my left cheek wants a kiss too. What an adorable little bun. I laughed and gave his left cheek a kiss as well. Wait for me, okay? I got ready. As the engine roared and I took off, I couldn't help thinking, being rich really was great. This thing was far better than any bike I'd ever ridden before. The speed ramped up, and the adrenaline kicked in. That wild streak in my blood came to life. As I crossed the finish line, the crowd near the stands erupted in cheers. Girl, you're insane. Ah. She won. She came in first. Wow. First place again? You sure you don't want to go pro? I took off my helmet. No time. I'm busy. What's busier than making money? I glanced over at Tim, who was standing not far away, his eyes filled with sparkling stars. He was trying so hard to stay cool. Got married. Gotta take care of my husband and kid now. Dangerous jobs like this, not worth it. Just then, Tim ran up, waving my phone. He looked at me, then at the young man standing beside me. I took the photos, but, you're on a date with another guy. Does my dad know? Planning to rat me out? Tim shook his head. Just don't forget to block him. Or he'll beat you up. I burst into laughter. How about this, come live with me, and I'll find you a stepdad 1,000 times better than your dad. Stepdad? You're really going for it, huh? Daddy, why are you here? Tim tugged on my sleeve. I followed his gaze, and saw Noah. Along with a few of his friends. Well, little Tim. Heard you ran away from home. What brings you here? Hey, little sister-in-law, dressed like this and out with a kid, trying to pick up guys? Do all of Noah's friends talk this recklessly? Noah's gaze lingered on Tim clinging to me. No one said a word. Then his eyes fell on me. He seemed surprised that I could ride motorcycles, and his gaze carried a flicker of shock. Before I could say anything, one of his friends gasped. Why is that bike here? Noah, isn't that your? Noah saw the motorcycle I'd ridden. His ascetic face darkened with fury. Aunt Mia didn't tell you that one's off limits? His eyes were sharp as blades. I remembered how nervous Aunt Mia had looked earlier when I left. She did. I didn't quite catch it. I really hadn't meant to. I'd just randomly picked one, and ended up choosing Noah's forbidden ride. At that moment, Tim suddenly stepped in front of me. Dad, it was me. I was the one who rode the bike out. I asked her to bring me here. If you're mad, punish me. It has nothing to do with Chloe. My angel baby. He's truly the best. Noah was speechless. When you're finally taller than the bike, you can say that. Little Tim, still not even bike height, mumbled, but, Daddy. It was my fault. A real woman owns her mistakes. I should have asked you first. But I already rode it, so if you're that mad, hit me. I promise I won't fight back. Hit you? Noah let out a cold laugh. He took off his suit jacket and tossed it. One of his friends quickly caught it. Noah, are you actually gonna ride? But you're. Race me. If you win, we'll call it even. If I win. He gave me a long look, eyes glinting dangerously. You'll do as I say. Deal. Noah hasn't touched a bike in years. Ever since Rachel got hurt. Shut up. Just watch. I had never seen Noah ride before. That reserved, disciplined face now glowed with controlled wildness. Two completely opposite traits collided in him, he radiated danger and charm. My heart pounded. By the third lap, I was clearly falling behind. Noah's skills were better than I'd expected. But at the curve, he suddenly slowed down, not by much, just a few seconds. Enough for me to pass him. The result was sealed. Wait, did I see that right? Noah actually lost? Chloe, you won again? Who taught you this stuff? You race every day or what? Your dad let you ride motorcycles too. The little guy chattered excitedly. But when he realized the loser was his dad, he fell silent. He snuck a glance at Noah. Seeing he wasn't angry, he sighed dramatically. Dad, you lost. I'm so sad. Noah took off his helmet, visibly annoyed. Really? I don't see a trace of sadness on your face. I'm sad. Little Tim, your smile's practically reaching the back of your head. Come on, let's go show you in the mirror. Someone picked him up and carried him off, leaving just me and Noah behind. We locked eyes. His gaze was dark and deep. Your skills, not bad. President Simons, yours aren't either. Except for that one, you can ride any bike in the garage. Thank you, President Simons. If Dad didn't like that awful Rachel woman, that'd be great. I think Chloe is 100 times better than Rachel. That night, I received a gift from Noah. A Bentley. In lychee pink. You do have a license, right? He had his flaws, but when it came to gifting vehicles, he didn't hold back. I cradled the keys lovingly. If I didn't, would you take it back? Something about that tickled him. He actually laughed. And it was, surprisingly handsome. Thanks for taking care of Tim. Then remember to apologize to him tomorrow. When we got back, Tim was fast asleep in Noah's arms. You could tell. Noah did care about his son. It's just that neither of them was very good at expressing it. Their communication style was a disaster. No father should talk to his child like a CEO addressing an intern. It's completely void of affection. Because he gave me a Bentley, I decided to offer him a tip. Noah was momentarily stunned. Then how should I talk to him? Be gentle and direct. Let your tone show that you love him. He's only 5. He hasn't developed the emotional radar to read between the lines of your cold sentences. Noah nodded after some thought. Thanks. And your way of disciplining him is way too harsh. Making him kneel in the rain for hours, locking him in a dark room, no wonder he doesn't get close to you. What do you mean, violent discipline? I mean when he doesn't listen, you call the guards to surround him and lock him up. A flicker of coldness crossed Noah's face. I only told Butler Jones to have him kneel for 1 hour last time. And this time, I said he should reflect quietly in the study. I planned to handle the rest when I got home. See? What's the use of making so much money if you don't even know your own son is being abused? Well then, I guess you weren't informed. That night, Noah summoned everyone in the villa. He glanced coldly at Butler Jones. Starting today, report to the old house. Wait. That's not being fired? Butler Jones was clearly disgruntled. Sir, the young master is violent and unsociable. I merely enforced your orders with a bit more strictness. I did it for his own good. A bit more strictness? Aunt Mia couldn't help speaking up. Sir never ordered him locked in a dark room. The young master's terrified of the dark. That's just cruelty. Butler Jones glared at her. What do you know? Sir, don't you remember what happens when you indulge him? He pushed his cousin down the stairs. She's still unconscious. If you don't discipline him now, are you waiting for him to become a murderer? Ah. So he was Rachel's cousin. No wonder he acted so arrogant. The destructive power of a white moonlight. I was starting to worry Noah might be swayed. I'll take full responsibility for what happened to Rachel, Noah said. But you defied my orders. Either report to the old house, or resign. Good. Not a complete fool in love. The crowd dispersed. Noah slumped into a chair, his elegant face half hidden in shadow. I always thought he didn't like me because I was a failure as a father. It's not too late to fix that. Noah looked at me. In the darkness, something deep flickered in his eyes. Come to the hospital with me tomorrow. My father hasn't met you yet. Sure. What does he like to eat? I'll prepare something in advance. Thank you. But, my dad has a bad temper. Thanks for the warning, Uncle Simons. I'll try not to piss him off. Change how you address me, too. All right, Uncle Simons, Noah. I turned to go upstairs. Wait. What is it? Noah pointed at his face. I blinked. What about your face? It's yours. I rubbed at my cheek. Nothing there. Noah stepped closer. He bent down, long fingers reaching out, and gently brushed my face. Light as a feather. But it landed in my heart like a thunderclap. Dirty. Our eyes locked. In his dark eyes, I saw a tiny reflection of myself. His ears, were those blushing? I leaned in to check. Noah abruptly stood up. Go to sleep. And with that, he fled. The next day, Noah was supposed to go to the hospital with us. But a last-minute call forced him back to the office for an urgent meeting. So I took Tim there alone. As we approached the hospital room, Tim suddenly stopped in his tracks. What's wrong? Since the kindergarten incident, Tim had come to trust me deeply. Whenever he threw tantrums or broke things at the villa, no one else could calm him. But the moment I appeared, he'd always listen. Tim lowered his head, his voice soft and downcast. Grandpa doesn't like me. Maybe he has some misunderstandings about you, but I promise, he definitely doesn't dislike you. A glimmer of light flashed in Tim's eyes. Bright and hopeful. Really? Really? But you can't talk like before. Speaking in opposites only makes people misunderstand you more. Even if they care, they'll start to believe the wrong things over time. Okay. I led him into the room. Honestly, I was just guessing. Tim was the only grandson of the Simons family. Unless he wasn't biologically theirs, there was no way the old master truly disliked him. When we opened the door, the hospital bed was empty. Instead, sitting elegantly on the sofa was a fashionable woman. Rachel. Wasn't she supposed to be unconscious from falling down the stairs? She was wide awake. The moment Tim saw her, his adorable face twisted with anger. He clenched his little fists and charged at her. "You bad woman." Rachel staggered back a few steps from the impact and then yanked him away. "Tim." I quickly rushed forward and pulled Tim into my arms. Rachel looked me up and down. "So you're the one Noah married? No wonder Tim has no manners. Look who raised him." She then raised her hand and slapped toward me. But of course, I didn't let her get away with that. I caught her hand midair and, with a swift motion, slapped her right back. Rachel stumbled and fell onto the hospital bed. Clutching her cheek, she stared at me in disbelief. You actually dared to hit me?" Just then, she glanced behind me, and her expression instantly changed. She collapsed to the floor, sobbing like a tragic heroine. "Noah. Uncle Simons." I was only trying to remind her to stay in her place and not disgrace the Simons family. But she hit me. And she even encouraged Tim to attack me. She's completely ruined this poor child. It was Noah. And with him, his father, the senior Master Simons. Even Noah looked a little surprised. "You're awake?" "Yes, I woke up this morning. When I heard Uncle was here in the hospital, I came by to visit." "Great." The white moonlight had awakened. And me, the placeholder wife from a political marriage, what leverage did I have now? Would Noah kick me out next? Sure enough, the next thing he said was, "You hit Rachel?" "I did." "Why?" She raised her hand first. "I simply struck first." "I see. Didn't you bring chicken soup for my father?" "So, he wasn't here to scold me?" I gave Tim a light nudge. He nodded and brought out the thermos. He carefully poured a bowl, then carried it over with both hands. "Grandpa, Chloe got up early to cook this. It smells really good. Please try some." The old man reached out, patted Tim's head, and gave me a rare approving glance. "I heard from your father, you've been doing well lately. Grandpa has a reward for you." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a gold bar. Tim's eyes lit up. "Just for me? Doesn't Chloe get one?" "Ah," the old master laughed heartily. "She gets one too. Of course. I also received a gold bar." The old man who gave out gold bars was now officially my favorite elder. Who said he was hard to deal with? Rachel watched the warm scene unfold, and her eyes filled with bitter hatred. "She hit me, and that's it? Noah, Uncle, am I invisible to you? How many gold bars would make you feel better?" Noah asked. Rachel froze. "Do you think I'm that kind of person?" "Then go ahead. Hit her back." "Really?" I frowned, unable to hide the growing disappointment in my heart. I'd thought Noah was more reasonable than this. Rachel looked smug, raising her hand once more, only to have it caught by Noah. "What are you doing?" she snapped. "Didn't I say you could hit back? She's my wife. If you want to hit someone, hit me instead." I looked up at him, stunned. So he could be decent. Rachel's face twisted, and her emotions collapsed. "You're defending her." Her hands trembled. Then, as if she remembered something, she pulled out a stack of photos from her bag. "If it weren't for her sneaking in when I was vulnerable, I would have been the one to marry you. Oh, and I did some digging. She's not even the real daughter of the Zhou family, she's just some country bumpkin. Look, here she is collecting chicken poop in the village. Here she is herding pigs. Here, shucking corn. She's a hillbilly. She took Zhou family money to lie to you. She doesn't deserve you, Noah. Divorce her. Kick her out." Rachel had done her homework. Clearly, she came prepared for war. Noah looked through the photos, his expression growing more unreadable. I really did grow up in the countryside. That's me, collecting chicken poop, herding pigs, harvesting corn. All true. But I am the real daughter of the Zhou family. I was just raised in the country. "Liar!" Rachel shouted. "She's just like her scheming father. Noah, she doesn't love you. Don't let her fool you. Divorce her." Noah's dark eyes boiled with fury. "What she said, is it true?" "Oh no. Dad hates being lied to the most. Is he going to kick Chloe out? You and I both know exactly how this marriage came to be. I don't need to explain. But..." I turned to Rachel. "You were supposedly unconscious in the hospital, yet somehow you managed to investigate my entire background. Then you woke up fully dressed, in heels and full makeup. What a medical miracle." I seriously suspected she had faked the coma. Rachel's expression faltered. "I had to check out the woman Noah married. What if she hurt him?" "Fair. So I checked into your accident, too. Turns out, Tim never pushed you. You fell on your own and framed him." Rachel's body swayed. She spun around and grabbed Noah's arm. "Noah, you can't possibly believe her, can you?" Sniffle. "I loved him like my own. Why would I ever frame him?" She's trying to turn you against me. She's scared I'll take her place. Tim tugged my sleeve gently and whispered, Chloe, it's okay. Dad won't believe me. Don't fight with him because of me. I patted his head. Whether he believes it or not, the truth is still the truth. Sweetheart, Grandpa and Daddy are both here. Let's tell them exactly what happened that day. Tim nodded firmly. I woke up and wanted to go play downstairs. She appeared out of nowhere and said she was going to marry Daddy. That they'd have their own baby, and I'd be kicked out. I told her Daddy would never do that, and then she fell down the stairs. You little brat. Stop making things up. Oh? Still denying it, Rachel? If you confess now, maybe the Simons family will let it go. But if I show the security footage? Rachel smirked. Go ahead. Let's see this footage. If you don't have it, I'll sue you for slander. I smiled coldly and pulled out my phone. Played the video. It showed Rachel clearly tumbling down the stairs on her own. Across from her, Tim was visibly upset, but never once laid a hand on her. Clear enough? Noah's face was so dark it looked like a storm cloud. You really did frame Tim. Rachel's face turned ashen. I didn't. That's not me. It's not possible. She lunged for my phone, but I easily dodged her. Still trying to deny it? You couldn't have gotten that footage. The security video from that day was deleted, how could you have? She froze, realizing what she'd said. But it was too late. Senior Master Simons started coughing in fury. Rachel, we treated you like family. I watched you grow up, I even considered you my goddaughter. And you dare frame my grandson? You're a monster. Guards. Drag her out. Call the police. Rachel panicked. Noah. Please forgive me. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to marry you. It was Tim, he didn't like me, and you wouldn't marry me because of him. Noah shook her off. So after you framed him, Butler Jones helped you delete the footage, didn't he? I only did it because I love you. You always looked at me, don't deny it. Noah laughed bitterly. You need help. I've always said clearly, I don't like you. I will never marry you. You just refuse to listen. Impossible. You say you don't like me, but you're lying to yourself. I know you love me. Yeah, no. This one's really cracked in the head. Noah, don't bother arguing with a lunatic. As she was dragged out, Rachel screeched and wailed the whole way. Noah. You betrayed me. Mark Simons, you old, lying bastard. I curse your whole family. Shut the door. Someone shut the door. Crazy woman, Senior Master Simons growled. Tim huddled in my arms. Chloe, she's scary. Don't worry. The one who hurt you has been punished. Noah knelt down in front of Tim. Tim, I wronged you. I let you suffer. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? I stopped being mad a long time ago. Just don't accuse me wrongly again. The always composed Noah's eyes turned red. He pulled Tim into his arms. I won't anymore. On the way home, Noah turned to me and asked, I once had someone try to recover the surveillance footage, but it had been completely wiped. How did you get it? I reenacted it. What? I handed him my phone. Noah watched the video and frowned. That woman in the footage, it's not Rachel. No, it's me. I had Tim reenact everything that happened that day. It's fake, but good enough to throw her off and make her spill the truth. And you? Did you investigate Butler Jones? I suspected him long before you did. After that incident, I looked into it. Turns out, there were a lot of things you overlooked. He leaned back in his seat. The sharp line of his Adam's apple rose and fell. His eyes, deep as black lakes, were now rimmed red. I let Tim down. If it weren't for you. I instinctively reached out and patted his hand, trying to comfort him. But in the next second, he turned his hand over and gently clasped mine. His palm was large, warm. I hesitated, but didn't pull away. Good thing no permanent harm was done. Otherwise, my brother and sister-in-law would never have forgiven me. What do they have to do with it? Noah opened his eyes. The passing streetlights reflected in them. Tim is their child. There had always been rumors about the origin of Noah's son. Most people assumed he was an illegitimate child. After all, Noah had never announced any marriage in the country. I always thought he was yours. Miss Simons, Noah said, his gaze darkening with something else, your husband is both physically and emotionally clean. Want to test that out for yourself? Huh? Miss Simons, you taught me to speak directly, didn't you? Huh? I meant for you to use that on your son, not on me. So? Do you want to try me? As the words left his lips, a shadow fell over me. Noah leaned in, and kissed me. On the car window, our silhouettes overlapped. Entwined. My relationship with Noah progressed rapidly after that. I personally experienced the stamina of a mature man. After several consecutive days, I really couldn't take it anymore. So I hid in Tim's room. The little guy was highly observant. Did my dad upset you? No. He definitely did. A few times when I couldn't sleep and wanted to come find you, I heard you crying. I let out a shriek. You didn't come in, did you? Nope. Everyone says I look like Dad. I was scared that if I walked in and you saw me, you'd take it out on me and stop liking me. So clever. Why do adults always fight? Emily said her mom cries at night too. What else did Emily say? She said her parents fight a lot. They don't wear clothes when they do. I immediately found Emily's mom in the class group chat and gently reminded her. She gently reminded me in return. Tim's mom, if things really aren't working out, please don't give up on your child. No matter how powerful the other parent is, a kid is always best off with their mother. You might have misunderstood. We're not getting divorced. Sorry. That's just what my daughter said. Glad it's all a misunderstanding. I figured maybe Tim had misunderstood me and Noah arguing. Then let his imagination run wild. I planned to explain things to him. But when I looked over, he had already fallen asleep on my lap. Tomorrow, then. Who would have thought? The next morning, I had to leave on a business trip at the last minute. I packed in a hurry, barely catching the car. When I got off and entered the airport, I heard a familiar voice. Tim, dragging his little yellow duck suitcase, face streaked with tears. He was supposed to be at kindergarten. I ran over in a panic. Tim, what are you doing here? He threw himself into my arms. I know everything. He pulled a document from his backpack. It was the agreement Noah and I had signed when we got married. The one that stated, once the term ended, we'd divorce. Divorce. Tim pointed to the words, one at a time. Aunt Mia's drama had these same 2 words. I recognize them. You and Dad are getting divorced, right? No. That's just a contract, not a divorce. I'm not stupid. Silly Mom. Still trying to fool me. Whatever. Huh? He just called me Mom. I know you're going back home. Can I go with you to the countryside? We can herd pigs together. Tim was fully immersed in his own imagination. Fine. I'd explain everything once we got home. Okay. And honestly, I didn't have time to argue, so I took him along. Before the plane took off, I texted Noah. After my 3-day business trip ended, I swung by my hometown. It felt like time had frozen there. Since we were staying the night, I was busy cleaning up. Tim played by himself in the yard. The neighbors saw I was back and came over to say hello. They waved at Tim too. Is this your nephew? So cute. I'm not a nephew. I'm her son. I'm Tim. I had no idea. But within a few hours, the entire village knew. Chloe came back, with her son. Divorced. The kid took her last name. That evening, just as I finished cooking, I heard Tim's voice at the door. And saw someone who shouldn't have been there. Noah. Dad, don't come in. I'm scared Mom will see you and get mad at me. Then she won't want me anymore. Don't try to talk me out of it. I'd rather herd pigs in the countryside with Mom and laugh, than live in a mansion with you and cry. And I changed my name. I'm Tim Forrest now. Noah turned and met my gaze. His eyes were heavy with meaning. I don't recall us getting divorced. I don't either. Ask your son. Tim tilted his head. Why are you both looking at me? You are divorced. The agreement says so. I know you didn't want me to be sad. But I'm big now. I won't be sad. Don't lie to me. Noah rolled up his sleeves, scooped Tim under one arm, and marched into the house. I told you to go to school, but all you do is eat. Tim flailed and yelled, put me down, Dad. Not until you can write the word marriage correctly. No food until then. After dinner, Noah pulled me aside for a walk. We ran into a few villagers. They looked at me, then at Noah. And immediately understood. Chloe's husband, right? You've got a kid this big already. Can't you treat her better? Exactly. You look proper, but how can you treat our Chloe like that? Noah had always been the one scolding others. Now he was getting scolded himself. I was worried he'd get mad. Just as I was about to explain, he suddenly knelt down in front of me. From who knows where, he pulled out a red brocade box. Inside was a diamond ring. Before I met you, I never imagined I'd one day want to spend the rest of my life with someone. That I'd want to share my joys and sorrows, every day and every night. Chloe, I don't know how to say sweet things. But I know this, I want to marry you. I want to be with you. Marry me. Chloe, when you meet a good man, say yes. Mom, give Dad a chance. Tim mimicked Noah and got down on one knee too. I burst out laughing and accepted the ring. Uncle Simons, nice to officially meet you. Noah smiled with his whole face, stood up, and pulled me into his arms. On the way home, I sighed, again and again. You two planned this, didn't you? If I hadn't come back, it would have been fine. But the whole village is already buzzing with my so-called love saga. I didn't even want to imagine it. Every auntie in the village, fanning themselves, seeds in hand, gossiping away on tiny stools. I went downstairs for a walk. Noah smiled, then pulled me into his arms. Might as well give them a heads up. Heads up for what? We never had a proper wedding. Let's start it here. No need to make it complicated. It's not. You grew up here. This place is your other home. Your childhood friends and neighbors are all here. It means something. Dad, Mom, can we invite the neighbor Aunt Madison's little piglet to the wedding too? Tim popped in between us. Noah nearly blacked out. When you get married, you can consider that. But my wedding is still a long way off. That piglet's really cute. I'll dress her up nicely. Noah narrowed his eyes. Try anything funny, and I'm shipping you abroad next semester. Tim immediately perked up. I don't want to go abroad. Fine, no piglet at your wedding. Father and son bickered playfully. I stood to the side, recording the scene. Under the setting sun, our shadows stretched long behind us.